Hi, Cancer Rising Sign. Welcome back to my channel. Now, let's talk about the weekly energy pattern for you from the 27th of May until the 31st of May. So, we are looking at the very last few days of May, and it's packed with some very important aspects, in my opinion. I think it's a closing chapter and a massive realignment of your career, your financial system, and potentially your deeply private world as well. As a Cancer rising, you navigate life through, intuition. Your emotional radar is usually spot on, and your instincts to protect what matters is always most likely in the forefront. But lately, you have likely felt a heavy structural pressure building up at the highest point of your chart. So you have been trying to push forward in your career, step into leadership, or claim your professional authority. But the behind the scenes obligations, private doubts, or hidden exhaustion have been acting like an anchor holding you down, holding you back. So this week, that professional bottleneck should officially break. We have a story unfolding that is going to force you to establish very hard boundaries around your personal energy, change the way you nurture your subconscious mind, confront a years long wound around your professional visibility, and lock a brilliant long term strategic plan into place. So the week starts with the 28th of May with a bit of a heavy friction point that directly tests your vitality and your ambitions. Now, Venus is currently moving right through your first house, the house of identity, self presentation, self preservation, and personal desires. So, Venus in your sign wants comfort, self care, to move through the world with grace and ease. But on this day, Venus forms a square to Saturn, which is sitting at the highest point of your chart, your 10th house, the house of career, public reputation, professional authority. So this is a classic clash between your personal needs and your professional obligations. So you might be trying to focus on yourself, your wellness, your well-being, your personal projects, but a sudden heavy demand from a boss, a client, a massive career responsibility slams the brakes on your plans. It's holding you back from that self-care that you kind of want to do. Alternatively, you might put yourself out there publicly only to be met with some critical kind of demanding response from authority figures. So Saturn in your 10th house is acting as a strict professor. It's an auditor. It's forcing you to look at reality. It is asking you whether you are compromising your personal well-being or your authentic self-expression just to fulfill that corporate duty, just to pay the bills, really, or to gain public approval. You might be applying for new jobs and you might be experiencing some delays or very heavy workload or a sense of career restriction. But maybe this is not a day or two to force your way through. This is Saturn telling you to respect your limits, audit your professional boundaries, and understand that sustainable success cannot be built by abandoning your own physical or emotional vitality. Now, Ceres enters 12th house this week, and Saturn forces you to realize that you cannot run on fumes. The cosmos immediately pulls your energy inward to restore your battery. That's why Ceres leaves your 11th house, the house of public networks, and enters Gemini, stepping into the very quiet part of your chart, that solitary part of your chart, the 12th house, which is also the representation of subconscious retreat. For the last, month or two, your nurturing energy was outward facing. You might have focused on your community, your students, your social circles. You were nurturing a long term goal. But now the way you feed your sense of security undergoes a change. You are that you become more private. That private mental decompression becomes a primary source of energy for you. It's about resting a little bit. It's about you noticing that powerful drive to pull back from the crowd is just as necessary as being in the crowd. Forcing yourself to be social or always to be on all the time, most likely it's going to feel very exhausting. Instead, your mind needs high quality, quiet information to heal. Maybe you just want to be a little bit at home and then study, for example. Or this is an ideal time to dive deep into psychological materials, creative writing, meditation, breath work, writing down your thoughts, work quietly behind the scenes on a major project. Maybe this is a very beautiful time. It's like the house of incubation. So you are kind of like giving birth to a project, but behind the scenes. Series in the 12th house says that your wealth and security are sustained right now by organizing your ideas behind the scenes. We can do research, we can write, we can map out our materials, but all of these behind closed doors. There's a bit of a warning here as well. And the warning here is to avoid mental loop wheels. Don't use this transit to overthink or, consume like low value digital noise, Nurture your mind with thoughts that bring peace and psychological clarity as well. Now, on the very same day, on the 29th, we have got Chiron hitting 29 degree of Aries, and that's an energetic degree. That's a finish line at the peak of your chart. Chiron, the wounded healer, reaches its absolute final degree of Aries in the 10th house, which is the house of career, public standing, leadership. Chiron has been here since 2018, exposing every single wound you carry around: visibility, professional failure, the fear of taking up space as an authority figure, the fear of leadership, and so forth. It has brought up past pain regarding times you felt exposed, unfairly criticized, unfairly treated potentially by your peers, bosses, or plagued by imposter syndrome when stepping into leadership. At this 29-degree energetic degree, this energy reaches like a pressurized bottleneck. This is like a professional final exam. I think you are likely to face a situation today, or not today, but in the next 4 weeks, really, that perfectly echoes an old professional insecurity. Maybe a client, a boss, or a public situation might trigger that familiar fear of not being qualified enough or failing in front of everyone. And in the past, you might have hidden away from the spotlight or overcompensated by overworking. But Chiron says the medicine is uh, being calm, having that unshakable professional sovereignty. You're meant to look at the career challenge and realize that your track record, your wisdom, your unique approach are exactly what qualify you to lead. Maybe this is about you leaving a career behind and you want to be starting something new. And that could be a breakthrough where you permanently close the door on the fear of judgment, on the fear of not being able to pay the bills. You should stop asking for permission to be the boss of your own life, and you should step into that true authority level, which might be about you becoming an entrepreneur. Now, on the very same day, Hera enters Virgo, which is your third house. And on the next day, Circe enters second house, Leo. So when the asteroid of commitment steps into that analytical Virgo, I think your business contracts, daily communication systems, professional agreements get a clean upgrade. I think you want clarity. So this is the perfect time to review the fine print, refine your writing or your teaching schedule, optimize your everyday workflow. Clear communication is how you build trust right now. And then the next day, when Circe moves into your second house, Circe represents magnetism and persuasion. So this could indicate that you start attracting financial resources. You command your worth. If you're selling a product, pitching a client, offering a service, this is your cue to step up and present your value with boldness. It is trying to increase your confidence as well. It is trying you to go after some premium quality products, for example, or clients and so forth. But if you do so, it should be drawing you financial abundance, lucrative opportunities. On the 30th, oh, I'm going hours again. Sorry about that, because I'm trying to change the day. And then on the 31st, now I shifted to Leo rising. So here you go. So on the 31st, Mercury out of bound in your 12th house is making a sextile to Chiron. And that happens on the same day when Sun makes a sextile to Pallas Athene in your 10th and the trine to Juno in your 8th. First, Mercury is flying completely out of its mind, but in its home sign of Gemini, right in your 12th house. This means that your subconscious intellect and intuition are operating totally outside the box, free from any type of traditional manners. Mercury forms that very supportive opening sextile to that pressurized Chiron at 29 degree, the house of career. So if you have been feeling professionally blocked, stagnant, or anxious about your direction, maybe this is an absolute flash of intuitive genius is going to hit you. The solution might be coming to you how to solve this visibility issue, for example. Um, Mercury doesn't want you to be doubting yourself anymore. It wants you to realize, maybe through vivid dreams or a flash of insight from behind the scenes work, but it wants to give you the key, that exact strategic key to dissolve that career worry. This is inviting you to trust your instincts, trust your intuition. Now the Sun, making that sextile to Pallas and the trine to Juno as well. So you might start spotting the pattern for your long-term success. Thanks to Pallas in your 10th house, I think a brilliant independent business strategy locks into place. And because Sun is trining Juno in your 8th house, maybe you are going to get financially backed, or you are going to be having a business partner, or you are making a long-term investments and you are trying to find someone, for example, who is going to be able to fund your vision. This is a green light to secure contracts, settling financial agreements, and solidifying your professional future. Then Mercury on the same day enters Cancer as well. And, um, it has finished its quiet behind the scenes processing and he steps out into the world. So your mental focus shifts directly to how you want to present your thoughts, your brand, your voice to the public. So it's time to take all the brilliant strategic insight you incubated in private and then let's start speak about it, but with absolute emotional intelligence. Yes, I think Mercury is going to focus on self-care in your first house as well. It is about talking about yourself, sharing your plans with others. But it's also about protecting your thoughts as well, protecting your energy. Hopefully you heal the professional wound and now you locked in the strategy how to kind of create more finances. So it's time to start talking about yourself. Well, thank you for watching Cancer Rising Sign. Do share your professional and personal breakthroughs in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Take care, and I will see you in my next forecast. Bye for now.